break the ice there. Now we all have a special bond and I love it. As I walked up here, you're probably all wondering what's with this outfit. So I was really hurrying this morning, I didn't know what to wear, so I thought I'd give a mix of everything. A bit of formal shoes there, a bit of socks, sporty socks there. We got some just regular, casual sort of shorts. And then I just thought I'd go quirky up the top here. And I love it. I really love it, you know. Like, it's kind of like a hipster retro kind of vibe that I'm getting across with all of you. Now, I've always kind of strived to be a hipster, right? But my family kind of was like stepped in the way of that dream. Like, I've always just loved the scarves that they wrap around themselves, the beard, how they never shower, the man bun, as you can see. And also, they're so lattes. Like, I love everything about it. Just before I tell you about my family, you see, I don't know how good my jokes are compared to the other lot over here. So we're going to go a practice run, okay? I'm going to tell you a joke, and you're going to laugh no matter what, and I don't even care. But alright, so I was walking down the street the other day, and my shoe broke. I guess I'm soulless. There we go, that's good. So anyway, about my family that get in the way of my hipster dreams. Well, we'll start off with the head of the family, my dad. So he's quite a quiet character. And so I'm quite a rebellious child. And as you can see, and he said, call me out of my room. He said, Angus, can you come and have a seat? And I was like, okay. Like those really cliche dad moments. He's like, Angus, have a seat. And I was like, okay, I'm confused what's going on. And I didn't really know what he was going on, but he started rambling a bit, mumbling. And he said, Angus, really got to take some action here. And he keeps jiggling around, and I'm like, what's going on? And he ends up smashing the table like that. He says, Angus, take some action. I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, Angus, you see this hand? You see this hand? And I say, yes, I see this hand. And he says, well, you see this hand? And he says, and I say, okay, yes, I see the hand. What are you getting at? And he says, Angus, you need to pull your finger out. You need to pull your finger out. And I say, well, what are you talking about? He says, you know where you've got your finger? And now I've been told that I cannot say the rest of this story. It's kind of censored material. But other words to describe this is behind, buttocks, bottom. And then there's my mother, who is right there filming me as we speak. We occasionally go on trips as a family. One night a few years ago, it was amazing. We were in New York City for Christmas. So we were going out for dinner, and she said, Angus, we're going to buy you some nice clothes, okay? So we're going out. If any of you have heard of Macy's, it's a big department store in the US. So we walked into Macy's, it was packed, Christmas Eve, everyone was there, every floor was chock-a-block. So we picked up the clothes, we were waiting in the line, and we're waiting there for about an hour. We're like, oh, okay, what's going on here? This is going to take forever. Finally, we got to the counter, and the woman scanned the clothes and she said, sorry, you can't buy these. Mum looked at me, Mum looked at the cashier, Mum looked at me again, and the cashier looked at me, and the cashier looked at Mum. And then she turned around and she said, Angus, what are we going to do? We need to buy these clothes, we really do. And so they said, okay, you might be able to go to another desk. So we waited about another hour for this desk to be served again. We got there and they said, we're really sorry, we can't buy these clothes. And the same thing happened again. The cashier looked at me. I looked at the cashier, Mum looked at the cashier, Mum looked at me. She picked up the clothes and she had rage in her eyes. Rage. Her blood was boiling. She looked at me and she said, Angus, don't look. I was like, what's going to happen here? She had the clothes in her hand. She was shaking again. She threw them at this lady's face. One of the biggest department stores in the whole world. On Christmas Eve, the whole floor stopped. They all looked at me and my mum, and I was on the floor going, oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God. Oh, it was so embarrassing. The most embarrassing moment of my life, and I just cannot forget it. Eventually we got other clothes, but it was alright. And then I think a year or two later we went back and Mum's picture was on the front door saying, please do not let this woman again. Okay, that's a story about how Mum's banned from one of the biggest department stores in the world. But then there's my brother. No. He's right there next to me. We have a real special friendship. We're really close. We play a lot of games together. We do a lot of things together. He's 7 or 8. How old are you? How old? 8. He's 8.
But then I was 4. Or 3. 3.
Or 4 or 5, the same thing.
3.
We were out a few years ago. He was about 4, 5, 6, I can't remember. But he was, we were gardening. And Mum, as she had her occasional rage fit, she said, Angus, garden with me! And so I said, okay, we'll garden. I don't want to die. So we were gardening happily. And Isaac said, Angus, I need to get away from this. And I was like, okay, well, you can get away. And he's like, I need to go to the toilet. I mean, you need to be going for a while. And I'm like, okay. He says he's 3, but it's just trying to make him feel better, because I think it was a few years later than that. Anyway, we did not have a dog at the time, and Isaac was gone for a fair while, and I just heard him crying in his room, and he said, and I walked in, I said, Isaac, you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. And I said, Isaac, are you okay? What's going on? And he says, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. And I said, okay. So I walked outside. I was like, he must have had something wrong in the toilet. The door might have fallen on him or something. He might have fallen in. I don't know. So as I said, we had no dog. And I stepped out of the front porch and there was a massive giant human feces on the back porch. So Mum came up to us and she said, with her normal rage that constantly happens, she says, Angus, what did you do? I was like, I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything. It's my brother. And my brother said, I didn't mean to. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in. I really couldn't. But usually as mothers and sons have that thing, Isaac just went up to Mum and was like, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, it's okay. But when I hear that, she just says, what do you want? Get out. So that's my brother. So I thought it was only fair telling these stories about my whole family, my immediate family, but not say something about me. Okay? I think I was about 9 years old at the time. And they all know the story. We were at assembly at my old school in Melbourne. It was outside, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw this girl, and I was like, as you can see, I'm a real ladies' man, just the way I dress. And I saw this girl out of the corner of my eye, and she was just looking straight at me. I was like, I need to get her attention. How am I going to get her attention? And so I was like, just doing the old, oh, maybe she'll notice my long limbs. I couldn't figure this out. So it's like, none of this is working. So we were about 15 minutes to go to assembly, and I'm like, oh, the end is approaching here. I've got to make a move. I've got to do something. So classic 9-year-old Angus, he was like thinking of many ideas, sitting like on the floor like this as you do, and he's like, oh, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? And he sees her. I'm like, yes, this is my moment. This is my moment. Here we go. And so for some reason, my idea was to take my shoe off and smell it.
Oh, that is sad.
I have no idea why. Don't worry, it did get her attention. Everyone around me started looking at me. They started looking at me. The girls started looking at me. I took the sock off. I started smelling my sock. I started smelling my feet. And everyone was looking around me, and this girl was like, "Ugh, what is going on?" And then I was excited. I was psyched. Everyone's noticing me. I'm popular. I have many friends. I have a girlfriend now. We're going to have many children. She's going to get back. We're going to get married. Oh my God, it's all going to be amazing, isn't it?
Apparently not.
I don't think I ever spoke to her again. But, you know what did happen that day? A crazy foot fetish was created. Thank you. My name's Angus.